right, there we go. Beautiful. Hello, my friends. This is the Your Book, Your Voice coffee chat. Glad you're here. Do this as kind of an open forum. Keep it kind of open forum. However, um, I do bring up topics that I like to discuss during coffee chat, but you're more than welcome to post a comment or ask a question. That's what it's here for. So thank you for those of you who are checking it out on Instagram. Yeah, YouTube, of course, LinkedIn Live, absolutely. Glad you're here. And man, we're going to have a good little coffee chat. Food for thought. Food for thought is really the topic for today. Oh, by the way, before we go on, this is coffee chat, right? So cheers to you. This is why I put in my description all the time BYOC, bring your own creamer. I'd provide it if I could, but we're virtual, so you gotta grab your own creamer. So cheers to you. All right. So the topic that I want to hit today, again, food for thought, but really take this to heart, and that is your voice is irreplaceable. Your voice is irreplaceable. Period. As an author brand, your voice is irreplaceable. Your voice is already in the written word. The book that you publish, that's your voice. That's you. That's your personality. That's everything that encompasses who you are as an author is in that book that you've written. And you need to carry that over through into your audiobook. That's why you, as the author, need to narrate your own audiobook because your voice is irreplaceable. No one can tell your story better than you, first of all. I mean, that's just a given. All right. Nobody can tell your story better than you. You lived it, you breathed it, you experienced it, you wrote the book. Now it's time to turn it into an audiobook that you narrate yourself, especially if you're a nonfiction author. Whether you've written a memoir, maybe you're a coach or an entrepreneur or an educator and you've written a coaching program or some other educational book. So what? You wrote it. You know it. It's like, it's your creation, especially if you're a coach. That's why you have to narrate your own audiobook. Narrators are great. Not knocking that. If you're a professional narrator or that's fine. However, when it comes to your book, you need to narrate it because it's your interpretation. You need to tell your story the way it's meant to be heard, the way it was meant to be told. Other narrators are great. Technically, they will sound great. But emotionally, there is the disconnect because they didn't live your story. You did. The example I use all the time, I have a couple of authors that have gone through my audiobook coaching program, the Your Book, Your Voice audiobook coaching program. And they share their cancer journey. That's a very personal thing. Of course, they're not going to have another narrator tell their story because they lived that experience. And you know what? Each individual has their own individual experience. Yes, it is a cancer journey. That's looking at it, from a bird's eye view. But when you get down to the root of it, those authors have experienced their journey in their own personal way. And that's why they told their story the way that they wanted it to be told because they lived it. Your voice is irreplaceable, okay? Keep that in mind, especially when there's all this AI crap that's out there. It is not an accurate representation of who you are. That's why you need to narrate your own audiobook. And it's cutting corners. You cannot cut corners on your product. There's too much crap that's out there product-wise, right? Go to frickin' Temu or whatever those, cheap sites are, and, you're getting knockoffs and cheap crap. No, you got to represent quality. You are quality. Your author brand is quality. Your products need to be quality. Ebook, paperback, hardcover, and especially your audiobook. That's why your voice is irreplaceable. It's funny. Matter of fact, today I just read an article by one of those voice cloning companies, and they're like, "Oh, you can, have some dead person narrate your whatever you're doing, and it's like, why? Why would you have somebody who has nothing to do with who you are as an author narrate your audiobook? Ridiculous. And so, and I don't know, it blows my mind because that again is a misrepresentation of who you are as an author. And even when you're doing voice cloning, the inflections are AI, it's not you. the way you express yourself, that's what makes you so unique. That's why your voice is so special and irreplaceable. So my advice to you, especially if you're a nonfiction author, is you need to narrate your own audiobook. Don't cut corners, right? These voice cloning companies and whatever else, it's all cutting corners because you're lazy. Don't be lazy. All right, that's the lazy man's way out, and it's putting out a cheaper product, and it's putting out something that is not an accurate representation of who you are as an author. I can't stress that enough, and it's just, I mean, that's just a fact. You've got to get back to putting out quality things. Now, there's nothing wrong with finding ways to be more efficient and to do things that do make life easier, especially from a business standpoint. But when it comes to representing you as a human being, you can't cut corners there. So narrate your own audiobook, all right? Your voice is irreplaceable. Your voice is what allows you to stand out in a crowd, okay? Because it's you. It's the intangibles. The intangibles are those things that you can't physically touch, but you emotionally feel. And those emotions are your emotions. No one else's, no voice cloning, no AI, no other narrator. You are the one who possesses these unique intangibles: your emotion, your energy, your sincerity, your genuine authenticity, everything about you that makes you you. That is what sets you apart from everybody else, because your voice is irreplaceable. So keep that in mind. All right, don't ever cut corners. If you would like help in creating an audiobook, turning your book into an audiobook, whether it's a new book you published, or maybe you published a book 10 years ago, or maybe you have a group of books that you've been publishing over the years, but you don't have them in audiobook form yet, you need to do that because you need to tell your story in your own voice. You need to tell your story the way it is meant to be told and the way you want it to be heard. It is your story. Even if you're a fiction author, I've worked with authors who are fiction authors who tell these incredible stories, and they're storytellers. All right? That's why they can narrate their own audiobook, because they wrote the story. They know their characters. It makes complete sense. But again, if you're a nonfiction author, you do need to narrate your own audiobook because it's your story and you live that. Okay? Even if you're a coach, why would you have AI or whatever, something else, another narrator, talk about your coaching program? What a bad business move, man. It's not even a great representation of your business. You created this thing. Why would you have something else tell and explain and express how your business works when you should be the one? Especially if you're like looking to get clients, they want to work with the person, all right? Anyway, if you want to turn your book into an audiobook, reach out to me, because that's what I do as an audiobook coach and producer. If you go to robertlanecoaching.com, there is samples actually of authors who've gone through the program that I teach. And I walk with you every step of the way of how to create an audiobook, how to do a great narration, how to set up your own recording space so you can record on your own schedule. And you want the equipment, you want a professional microphone and professional headphones, and that's yours to keep. It's part of the program. Reach out to me. Let's have a conversation. Book a call. Links are in the description here on YouTube and LinkedIn. And of course, those of you on Instagram, go to my profile page. You can see all the links there. All right. Click on that link. It's a link tree and just say, book a call, audiobook consultation. Do it. It's the best business decision that you can make, because you are a business. You are an entrepreneur. You are the CEO of you. So if you're going to run a business, do it right. Don't cut corners. We need more quality product out there. And your book is quality. You put in the blood, sweat, and tears and money and effort and everything that it takes to create a great book. Don't stop with the quality. Okay, continue that on with your audiobook. That's my biggest piece of advice I can give you as an audiobook coach and producer. All right. If there's a topic you'd like me to cover regarding the audiobook world, about narration, any of that stuff, about being an author or your author brand, reach out to me. All right. robertlanecoaching.com. And let me know. Or, you can always post in the comments if there's a topic that you'd like to talk about. We'd love to hear from you. All right. With that, my friends, I'm going to cheers to you again. I'm going to keep this coffee chat nice and short and sweet. All right. The elixir of life. But anyway, thank you so much for hanging out and tuning in. I do appreciate you. And all I can say is just be the best you can possibly be. Because again, you are the CEO of you. So you need to make business decisions that are moving your business forward. Turning your books into audiobooks that you narrate yourself is the best business decision that you can make. And I'm here to help you out. All right. With that, my friends, we're going to wrap things up. Thank you so much. This is the Your Book, Your Voice Coffee Chat. I'm here doing this every Thursday at this time. Again, you can always reach out to me at robertlanecoaching.com. We'll say goodbye to our YouTube and LinkedIn friends first. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next week.